Good morning. This is your Monday message for the week of November the 16th. This is an interesting week because of the quirkiness of the energy. The week really begins with a flood of fear in the collective, in the field, as I call it, when I tune into kind of a mass vibe. It may not be for everyone, but sort of a mass vibe that we all kind of relate to. And there's more than one, by the way, but there is a dominant vibe, and then there's sub vibes, if you want to call it that. But one of the dominant vibes this week is a lot of fear. So, what happens when there's a lot of fear? We begin to relate to the external reality as the truth more than we should. We start to relinquish our personal power and the ability to make ourselves feel better. So when this type of energy hits, it's really important to disconnect as much as you possibly can from the external reality. Because right now, the external reality, especially the news stations, are just feeding us a huge dose of fear. It really doesn't matter which news you listen to. It's the same message: be afraid, be very afraid, right? Now, fear does not serve us. It is a depleter. It robs us of our own relationship to our inner navigation and to divine consciousness. So as fear creeps up in your reality, in whatever way that shows up, that is a signal for you to step back, to do self-care, to devote to yourself whatever you need to devote to yourself. Now, I live up in the state of Washington. I say up in the state of Washington because I'm from California, essentially. But our governor just locked down our state again, restaurants and bars and gyms and all that kind of stuff. And people are immediately going into fear, but also and it's not just fear about their income, it's fear about, am I going to get sick, or how can I manage this lack of socialization? So, I mean, some of these conditions are real on a human level. I'm not denying that. But the fear that goes with it is really where I want you to put your attention, because that is the opportunity that exists for us to expand ourselves despite contracting external reality. And as we move through this week, by the way, it'll be somewhat of a mixed bag. Like, for instance, today we got confirmation that I think it's Moderna, 95% efficacy in a vaccine. So you have this fear about, we're locking down again and your income, may go away, but we have a vaccine on the horizon, right? So that's kind of the nature of how the energy is going to go down this week. Good news, bad news, stop and start energy. The last couple days of the week into the weekend feel much better energetically. So just know it's kind of a rough and tumble ride. That's just kind of what we're up for this week. Doesn't mean opportunities can't be available and we can't take advantage of them. Rather, it just means continue to watch your own reactivity. Some 25 years ago, when I was first studying Buddhism, one of the tenets that stuck with me was about seeing yourself in your daily life as if you're up in the ceiling looking down. I thought about that a lot over the years, and I thought, well, so you're observing yourself, and that's an interesting exercise to do. But as I have grown and different things I've learned and decided to accept into my consciousness, really go more toward which part of me is watching myself. It's kind of a step further. So, and even I taught this in my magnetism course about understanding our awareness separate from our thoughts, our emotions, and form in life itself. So we did this exercise where you can close your eyes or not close your eyes, but essentially you imagine a room with a piano and a lot of people in it. And then you take away the people and you say to yourself, well, I don't mind being alone. It's okay. All right. And then you take away the piano. And like, well, I can hum a tune in my head, I suppose, and the piano goes away. And what's left? What's left is the awareness that the piano has been removed, that the people have been removed. And when we understand that the awareness, that that's who we are, because if you take away the awareness of the piano being removed and the people being removed, what's left? Nothing. You are awareness. And so when we understand that we're awareness and we sit in awareness, not in the thought or the emotion or the form, that's really what Gary Zukav referred to in his book, The Seat of the Soul. That's where we really live. That's who we are. And so in these times when we're being controlled, you can't go out, you can't earn an income, and you need to be afraid because you might get sick or make somebody else sick. I mean, really controlled by fear on a visceral level. The ability to go into the seat of your soul, to be the pure awareness that you are, and watch events, not only is it soothing, but it starts to help you recognize how to actually create and where you want to create from. You want to create from pure awareness. So if you're sitting in that awareness of watching that separateness from thought and belief and form, then you can set an intention and say, my intention is to create XYZ. And guess what happens when you're in that space? You're aligned with, purely aligned with collective consciousness, the intelligence that gave you life. And this is something else I taught in the magnetism course. It's an intelligent reality. You know, we tend to think we're out there swimming in this vast ocean where, you know, no one gives a crap about us, or nothing cares how we feel or what we're going through. But when you sit in awareness, and then you open yourself to intelligent reality, that there is a tangible community or tribe or what have you out there rooting for you, giving you insights, feeding you information, suddenly you're not feeling so alone. And suddenly you feel quite full. And suddenly all the noise of the external reality simply becomes theater. You know, like a Shakespeare play. I talk about it, you know, opening your door to your house, going outside, and there's a play going on outside on a grand scale. And if you begin to look at the tragedy and the drama and the ups and downs of life as drama on a large scale, people working out their karma, living their beliefs and exercising emotion in the collective, that it's not you, that it's something you're participating in to expand yourself, you don't feel disempowered. You're not going to feel afraid because you become part of something bigger. And that's where the safety and security comes from. So this week, as the fear rushes in and crazy things happen up and down and back and forth, try to chuckle at it. Try to say, be amused at the theater of life and the drama and the twists and the turns. But I really implore you and encourage you to stay away from the fear. It's not your friend. It has no benefit for you. Unless you're outside and a tiger is running towards you and you need your instinct to get in close quarters. You don't need that, okay? I hope this is helpful to you in some way. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon.